Good morning, my dear audience. Sitting here, I'm invited by lecturer Mr. Adi Mursalin to answer his question given. The question consists of three parts, namely, question on part A deals with daily activities in the classroom, question on part B deals with accounting theory, question on part C deals with accounting articles and accounting video. Please watch my video, listen and answer. Please listen to my video and please subscribe and like my video. Well, my dear audience, let me begin now. I will start to answer on part A. The first question is, do you always attend the lecture of HRM? If yes, how often do you attend the lecture of HRM? And why must you attend the lecture? And what benefit you got from attending the lecture of HRM? Well, my audience, my answer to the question on number 1 is, I always attend to the HRM class that held every Tuesday morning in the 7:30 a.m. till 10 a.m. at room B130. At room B31. In how often I come to the class? I always attend to the class without any absence for this semester. And so my total absence will be 14 per 14. And the reason that I have to attend the class is I have to fulfill my responsibility as an university student that already taken the class of HRM. And next, I will proceed to the question number 2. Do you do your structured assignment given? What type of structured assignment has been given by your lecturer? And what is the topic of your structured assignment? Explain the content of your structured assignment in details. What questions are given to the audience? Who answered your question? How are their answers? Who are the students who are active in asking and answering the questions given during your presentation? Well, my audience, my answer to the question on number 2 is, yes, I do my structured assignment, which is making the presentation about employee retention, engagements, and career. And the one who active in answering is Nurwita, Darlianto, Peragita, and the others who asking is Ivan, Kelly, and Indy. What is the difference between coaching and mentoring? Was answered by Nurwita. What the roles in careers and development in individual employers and managers was answered by Darlianto. And then I will proceed. That's all my answer for the question number 2. I will proceed to the question number 3. How many chapters in HRM ebook has been presented by your friends? Mention the names of your friends and title of the chapters who have presented the topic. What the chapters presented by your friends tell you? What benefits have you got from their presentation? Well, my audience, my answer to the question on number 3 is, there are 18 chapters in HRM ebook and 2 articles that has been presented by my friends. Chapter 1, about human resource management. The introduction of human resource management, presented by Ivan Henatra. Chapter 2, about equal opportunity and the law, presented by Ade Indrayani. Chapter 3, about human resource management strategy and analysis, presented by Vera Gita Fernanda. Chapter 4, about job analysis and the talent management process, presented by Nadia Kirsanti Halim. Chapter 5, about personal training and recruitment, presented by Nurwita. Chapter 6, about employee testing and selection, presented by Galih Pitaloka. Chapter 8, about presenting and developing employees, presented by Siti Badari. Chapter 9, about performance management and appraisal, presented by Anissa Dipa Sakliana. Chapter 10, about employee retention, engagement, and careers, presented by me, Theo Abednego Putra. Chapter 11, establishing strategic pay plans, presented by Kelly Chandra. Chapter 12, about pay for performance and financial incentives, presented by Al Jurniati. Chapter 13, about benefits and service, presented by Nurul Huda. Chapter 14, about ethics, employee rights, disciplines, and presented by Agustina Rizka. Chapter 15, labor relations and collective bargaining, presented by Eresia Putri Aulia. Chapter 16, about employee safety and health, presented by Hana Anugrah Christie. Chapter 17, managing global human resource, presented by Hartania Setni. Chapter 18, managing human resource in smart entrepreneurial firms, presented by Fikri Jahan Azhar. Chapter 19, it's the article about what do you need to lead in industry, presented by Nindi Belinda. Chapter 20, also an article, the title Human Resource Issues in Family Business, presented by Daryanto. The chapters was presented by my friends tells me a lot of knowledge about HRM. It teaches me how important HRM in a company and how to manage the employee in the right way. Well, that's all my answer to the question number 3. And then I will proceed to the question number 4. Have you voice recorded the question given in the WhatsApp group? How often have you voice recorded the question given? Mention the title of the article you have voice recorded. Well, my audience, my answer to the question number 4 is yes, I have recorded the question given in the WhatsApp group. The title is Introduction to Human Resource Management, Managing in a Global Economy, and the PowerPoint presentation that my friends has been presented in the classroom. Well, that's all my answer to the question on number 4. Then I will proceed to the question number 5. Mention and explain materials you have studied from your lecture, and what benefits have you got from the materials you have studied. Well, my audience, my answer to the question number 5 is here. The materials that I have studied from my lectures are the articles, ebooks, and the YouTube video that the lecturer given in the WhatsApp group, and the introduction of human resource management in general that happened in the classroom. The benefits that I got from these materials are I get to understand how important human resource management in work life or in our daily life. It teaches me a lot of new things that I don't know about human resource management. And that's my answer for the question number 5. I will proceed to the question number 6. Please read the Human Resource Management ebook that has been given by your lecturer. Mention the title of the ebook and who writes the ebook. How many pages does the ebook have? How many chapters does the ebook have? And what does each chapter tells you? Well, my audience, my answer to the question number 6 is the title of ebook is Managing Millennials, the ultimate handbook for productivity, profitability, and professionalism by Kevin A. Phillips. This ebook has 12 chapters, and each chapter tells us how to manage the millennials by providing specific action that we can take to get the best out of this generation. And this ebook also tells us about how work environment and way of business operates are different than the year past. Well, that's my answer for the question number 6. I will now answer the question on part B. Question number 1 is an article. What does this article tells you? Explain the content of the article in details, and what does this article benefit you? Well, my audience, my answer to the question number 1 is the title of this article is Managing the Complexity of Human Resource in Family Firms by David Ransberg, Wendy Sachs Hayward, and Amy M. Schumann. The article tells us about how human resource works, how the human resource function in the work family firms. Human resource can and should be strategic partner within the firm, rather than just a transaction focused on administrative function. Human resource is a crucial contributor to the superior performance of family firms. So maximizing the effectiveness of your human resource system and practice will help maximize your performance across the board. The benefits that I got from this article is I get to understand how human resource works in the family firms and how important the human resource in the family firms. Well, that's all my question to answer for the question for number 1. I will proceed to the question number 2. The question is about an article in WhatsApp group. What in the number 2A, what is the title of this paper? Who wrote this paper? Well, my audience, my answer to the question A is the title of this paper is an impact job analysis on job performance, a study of public sector organization of Pakistan by Muhammad Safdar Rehman. Well, that's my answer for the question number 2A. And then I proceed to the question number 2B. How many chapters does this paper have? Mention them, and what does each chapter tells you? Well, my audience, my answer to the question B is this article has 5 chapters. The chapter 1 is about an introduction, chapter 2 about literature review, chapter 3 is about the research methodology, and chapter 4 is the research findings, and the chapter 5, the last, is about the discussion and implementation. Well, these are my answer to the question B. I will proceed to the question 2C. What is the research problem in this paper? Well, my audience, my answer to the question C is the research problem in this paper is the problem statement. There is a conflict and ambiguity in the identifying right man for the right job in an organization. Well, that's all my answer to the question C. I will proceed to the question 2D. What is the research objective? Well, my audience, my answer to the question 2D is the research object is a sample size of 568 employees of Pakistan public sector regulatory authorities from Pakistan. Well, that's all my answer to the question on number 2D. And then I will proceed to the question number 2E. Explain the research design used by the writer. Well, my audience, the answer for the question 2E is research design relates largely to decision making which impact the research question, formulation to the research problem, conceptualizing and taking action of the research, collecting the research data and analysis, and interpreting the results. Well, that's are my answer for the question number 2E. I will proceed to the question number 2F. How does the writer analyze the data in his research? Well, my audience, my answer to the question 2F is by doing descriptive statistics, means standard deviation, correlations, factor analysis, Kaiser-Meyer-Olkin measure of sampling, Barrett's test of sparsity, regression analysis, elements of multiple regression equation, statistical significance, a research model. Well, that's are my answer to the question number 2F. And then I will proceed to the question number 2G. What is his research hypothesis? Explain them. Well, my audience, my answer to the question number 2G is his research hypothesis is job analysis, job design, job evaluation, job security, and job succession. Planning and requirement KSA together helps to improve the job performance of employees in public sector regulatory authorities. Well, that's all my answer to the question number 2G. I will proceed to the question number 2H. What statistic techniques are used by the writer? Give the reason why he used the statistic techniques. Well, my audience, my answer to the question number 2H is correlation and regression analysis were used to refine and increase accuracy of 6 independent variables of human resource practice. One intervening variable confirming the relation and impact to the dependent variable job performance. And then, well, that's all my answer to the question number 2H. I will proceed to the question number 2I. What are the outputs of his research and what's the recommendation and conclusion of his research? Well, my audience, my answer to the question number 2I is his study reveals a diverse aspects of practical operation of human resource management in Pakistan. It shows that human resource planning, the most critical element of personal function, is emerging. The test is require sound and credible employees belong to the human resource management. Well, that's our answer for the question number 2I. Well, now I will answer the question on part C. The first question is the question about a YouTube video. What are the titles of the video above? Who are the speakers of the videos above? What do the speakers discuss in the video above? Explain the contents of the video. Well, my dear audience, my answer to the question on number 1 is, for the first video, the title is a Human Resource Basic. Human Resource Management. The speaker is Greg Learning. The speaker discusses what we need to know about a particular human resource management. The content is to define the human resource in a simple mode, the brief history of human resource management, the 3 laws of human resource, and the 3 roles that group may play in organization, which are strategic, operational, and administrative roles. For the second video, the title is A Day Life on Human Resource. The speaker is the people from the people stream. The video is about the daily life of someone who works as a human resource in a firm. For the future life of human resource, when in the future we can use touchscreens, tablet computer technology, and plus holographic imaging. This technology is work more easily for human resource management because the advanced technology that will happen in the far future. And for the third video, the title is Employees 101, the employee's life cycle. The speaker is Courtney Bird. The speaker discussed about the employee life cycle in general from the recruitment in the interviewing, how human resource management hiring employee, what performance that employee should have, and how to manage the employee for your own organization. Well, I already answered all of the question for part C and for question from the part A and also part B. So that's all for my video. Thank you for watching. Please give like and subscribe if you like the video. Thank you. Good afternoon.